Korean government announced a new tax plan proposal late last week, and since then it has fueled controversy among the general public as well as in the political arena. The main opposition Democratic Party called the government's tax proposal a tax bomb on the middle class and launched a fresh public protest outside the National Assembly. Meanwhile, the ruling Saenuri Party says what the DP is doing lacks common sense and argues the opposition party must end its street protests and come back to the National Assembly. And earlier this Monday morning, President Park Geun-hye ordered her officials to rewrite the tax code from scratch. Well, for the latest on the tax overhaul and its developments, let's now connect live with our political correspondent Kim Yeon-ji at the National Assembly. Now, Yeon-ji, what's the latest development there?
Hi, Kanyang. The government's plan to overhaul the tax code was forecast to bring in more taxes from the top 28% of all salaried workers who earn roughly $31,000 or more annually. And calling it a tax burden on the middle class and low-income salaried workers, the main opposition Democratic Party has put up a fight against the government in protest of the proposal ever since last week. On Monday, the DP launched a special committee to protest the government's proposal and kicked off a campaign to collect signatures from the ordinary people and salaried workers who oppose the government's proposed tax code revision out in the streets. But then, on Monday morning, President Park Geun-hye ordered the government to rewrite the tax code revision, responding to the opposition's accusation that the proposal will only increase burdens on the low-income and middle-class salaried workers. Now, it remains to be seen how President Park's gesture will cool off the political standoff between the rival parties at the National Assembly. The ruling Saenuri Party says it's willing to openly discuss the matter with their opposition counterparts and has called on the Democratic Party to end their street protests as soon as possible and come back to the National Assembly.
Right, Yeon-ji, but they will be coming back to the National Assembly anyways to attend this plenary session scheduled for this afternoon.
That is correct. In fact, a full member assembly meeting is now underway as we speak. Lawmakers plan to decide when to kick off an extraordinary session to discuss the taxation issue, which needs to be addressed before September. And also on the table is the issue of extending the special parliamentary probe into the state intelligence agency's alleged intervention in last year's presidential election. Lawmakers will cast a vote on the proposal to extend the probe to August 23rd instead of the original end date of August 15th. I'll be back with more later, and in the meantime, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Yeon-ji. We'll connect live with you again on our 4 p.m. newscast. That was our political correspondent Kim Yeon-ji on the latest development on the nation's controversial tax code proposal.